Every year, thousands of people across the world look up at the sky and see something they cannot explain. Not because they imagined it, not because the light played tricks on their eyes, but because what they witnessed doesn't belong to any category that modern science can name. In today's video, we're looking at 7 pieces of footage, each from a different corner of the world, a different point in time, but all sharing one thing in common. No one has been able to explain them.
The light formation above Mexico, multiple witnesses. There is a threshold in UFO documentation where a single witness becomes easy to dismiss. 2 witnesses become harder. When an entire crowd stops and stares at the same thing at the same time, the dismissal becomes considerably more difficult. This footage was recorded over Mexico and posted recently. Multiple people on the ground watched as a round, luminous object appeared in the sky, not drifting, not blinking in any recognizable pattern, but forming and dissolving in a way that produced a distinct shape against the dark. A shape that held long enough for everyone present to agree they were seeing the same thing, then it changed, then it returned. No drone produces light like this, appearing and vanishing without a body, without a sound, without the mechanical logic that all human-made aircraft carry with them. Whatever this object was, it understood the sky it was moving through in a way that suggested familiarity rather than intrusion. It behaved, in other words, like something that had been there before.
Asusta el clima. Amenaza de lluvia. Preciso cuando va a salir de la capilla hacia Pachavita, manitos.
The craft that wandered into a live stream, Colombia, August 2023. He was not looking for anything unusual. He was just doing a live broadcast on an ordinary afternoon in Colombia, August 2023. The camera was rolling, the stream was live, and somewhere in the background of a completely unremarkable moment, a saucer-shaped craft passed through the frame, unhurried, unbothered, moving across the sky with the casual indifference of something that did not particularly care whether it was seen. The man didn't notice it until his viewers started reacting. When he reviewed the footage, it was already too late to go back and look. The craft was gone. And what remained was a single clear pass through a live recording, unplanned and unedited, watched in real time by everyone tuned in. There is a particular weight to footage like this. No staging was possible, no post-production could explain it. Whatever crossed that live stream was simply there, and then, just as simply, was not. The blue light at ground level. USA? Most UFO sightings happen at altitude. This one was on the ground. A man driving in the United States spotted a blue light in the distance and did what very few people would do. He drove toward it. Then he got out and ran. What he found when he arrived was not what he expected. No structured craft, no landing gear. Instead, a pulsating blue energy source positioned at ground level near what appeared to be the entrance to a small cave, its light forming a pattern that had no mechanical explanation, its surface shifting in ways that no fixed device produces. And within the light, something was moving, a shape, a figure, something that occupied the space inside the glow the way a living thing occupies a room. Whether that figure was real, projected, or something the camera captured that the eye alone would have missed, no one has been able to determine. But it was there, on the ground, in a place that should have been empty. The stealth configuration, location unknown, some craft are seen because they want to be. Others are seen because their concealment is imperfect, visible not as a shape, but as the lights that outline where the shape should be. This footage captures something massive moving through the night sky. At its center, an array of intensely bright lights. But around those lights, suggested by their arrangement, implied by their spacing, the outline of something far larger than any of them individually. A structure rendered visible not by its surface but by its illumination pattern. The way a building can be read in darkness by the windows that glow inside it. Two additional lights detach from the main body during the footage, firing outward, moving independently before disappearing from frame, which raises the question that the footage itself refuses to answer. Is this one craft deploying probes, or a formation of separate objects operating in coordinated proximity? The scale rules out any conventional aircraft. The behavior rules out any conventional explanation. The Bell in the Sky, location unknown, filmed from a car. Two men were driving when one of them pointed at the sky and the other one slowed down. What they were looking at was bell-shaped. That description sounds imprecise until you see it. A solid, vertically oriented object with a silhouette that matched a bell more closely than it matched anything in any aviation registry. No visible seams. No rotors, no reflective surface. The finish appeared matte gray, absorbing light rather than returning it. The bell shape appears in historical UFO accounts going back decades, most famously in the Kecksburg incident, where an acorn or bell-shaped object reportedly came down in a Pennsylvania forest in 1965 and was recovered by military personnel before civilians could reach it. Whether this footage connects to that lineage or represents something entirely separate. The shape it describes is one that has appeared before, in places and at times when the people who saw it had no reason to invent it. Whatever those two men filmed from their car that day, it had been seen before. By others in other countries in other years. All of them describing the same impossible bell.
Das ist... Was ist das, Alter? Und einfach irgendwas da oben.
The Humanoid Figure of Light, Brazil, 2024. A figure, made of light, hovering above a road in Brazil. Someone driving filmed what appeared to be a massive humanoid shape suspended in the air, not seated in a craft. Not partially visible through a window, but simply present in open sky, vertical and enormous. Constructed entirely of luminous plasma or energy rather than anything solid. Reports of humanoid figures in the sky have been increasing with a consistency that is difficult to attribute to coincidence. Sometimes they appear as defined silhouettes, a person standing motionless thousands of feet above the ground. Other times, as here, they emerge as beings of light, vast, calm, and entirely uninterested in explaining themselves. The location where this was filmed had no festival, no event, no installation, no source. There was no reason for a humanoid figure of light to be hovering above that road at that moment, and yet the camera recorded it. And the driver kept filming because stopping felt like the wrong response to something that size. White with black markings, Czech Republic, 2024. This one entered the frame without warning and left before anyone had time to react properly. But what it left behind was enough. Czech Republic, 2024. A person was filming something else entirely when a white object cut across their field of view. Fast, defined, and covered in a pattern of black dots or markings distributed across its surface in a configuration that suggested design rather than damage or weathering, not random, not uniform, intentional. The sunlight struck it directly from the front as it crossed the frame, which is significant. Sunlight hitting an object from the front eliminates the possibility of projection, removes the ambiguity of shadow, and forces the object to reveal its actual surface. What the light showed was solid, structured, and marked with something. The people filming reacted with immediate and unscripted surprise, audible shock from individuals who had been focused on something completely Different a moment before, you cannot rehearse that response. You cannot time it to a CGI insert. What they heard themselves saying and what they captured on camera in the same instant was the same thing. Something white, marked, and moving at speed passed through their frame over the Czech Republic in 2024.